In this video, I want to give a quick description of what our PAILs and rails contractions are, and ultimately what we're using them for during our rehab and our training. Now, PAILs and rails stands for progressive and regressive angular isometric loading. It's a big fancy way of saying we're doing accommodating isometric exercises for the opening and closing or shortening and lengthening side of a joint. Why does this matter? Because when we're doing these particular movements, we're not focusing on the muscle themselves, we're focusing specifically on the joint itself. Isometrics are a great way to not only strengthen the joint capsule, teach it control, but also start to address things like the ligaments as well. So during our isometrics, we often will talk about things such as an 8-8-8 or 10-10-10 cycle. What that's meaning as we're doing it is we're utilizing various time under tension to progress the movement for us as we go. Now with our PAILs and rails, depending on what our intent of it is, we can vary the amount of effort we're giving with it. Traditionally, for most of our efforts that we work with, we're looking for more of a control, more of a training standpoint, so we're gonna be in that 75 to 80% range of our effort. Now this is pain-free. Remember, we should never have pain when we do this. So to determine your safe range for this, your 75 to 80%, what I want you to picture is if I was to ask you to push as hard as you can to do something, right? If I'm asking you to push your hands together as hard as you can, as long as it's pain-free, go 80% of that, that's what I'm looking for. Now going back to that 8-8-8 or the 10-10-10, we are looking for an idea that is known as time under tension. However, with isometrics, depending on the amount of effort we're giving, we can only hold that isometric for a certain period of time. When we get towards max effort, it's usually only around 8 to 10 seconds. Now, as we go lower tension, we can be going 15, 20 seconds as is, but we're looking for higher tension. Higher tension equals lower time. So what an 8-8-8 or a 10-10-10 cycle is working from 0% to 75 or 80% should take us about 10 seconds to get to. Working at our hold for 10 seconds, and then working our opposite contraction for 10 seconds. Now, what is our initial contraction versus our opposite contraction? So in a PAILs and rails series, we're going to end range. So let's look at my bicep, for example. As I come up to here into elbow flexion, this is as far as my bicep goes, as far as my arm goes. I can't go any farther. I can push it farther, but I can't actively take it farther. That is known as end range. So with the example, I'm gonna bring my arm up to here into flexion, my hand on the opposite side. So my first contraction, which is my PAILs or my opening side, is pushing out of that stretch. From there, working that up to our effort, 80%, holding that for 10 seconds, and then our opposite, our rails contraction, our shortening contraction, trying to drive that deeper into that starting position. I hope this helps give us a little understanding of what we're doing during that contraction, during that cycle. If you still have questions or you still want some more understanding, shoot us a message and let us know.